Oh my God. It's so early.
Hello, Serbia.
Yeah, good morning. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the pregame show.
Let's go.
Oh,
Let's
my
go.
goodness. That is the energy. It's a false energy. Hopefully the Nuggets have more urgent energy, although probably not. The day game.
Your hopes aren't high for today?
My hopes are high because I think the Nuggets are good, but do I have expectations here? I don't know. We'll talk about it. The 14-8 Denver Nuggets take on the 14-8 New Orleans Pelicans in the Big Easy, wrapping up a little two-game home away stretch for the Denver Nuggets, and we're going to go through all of that. We're also going to talk about, I don't know if you guys have been on the internet lately. Mm-hmm. Deion Sanders, prime time.
I've heard.
Is coming to Boulder, and guess what he brought to Boulder? The first thing he brought.
What's that?
Some swag.
He exudes swagger.
He
He
can't
has
help
swagger oozing out of every cell on his body.
And I'm watching this and I'm going, man, Nuggets might need a little swagger. They might need a little swagger. This might be the most swagless team ever.
I think this show's about to get a little more swagger.
We might be about to be injected.
We went from 0
swag.
to 1 at least in swagger.
Well, you didn't tell any lies there. Later on, we're also going to talk about the Pels and the Grizz. To me, seem like the same caliber team. Like, who's got next? I want to talk about that. And then, of course, the new guy. He's going to bring us some bets. Right on time. Just right on time. Man, that traffic, huh?
That's Sunday traffic. That Broncos traffic. That's what it was.
They're on the road.
So, got out of my car. Got here on time, I think.
No, you did not.
Not really on time, but on time. Had to go use the bathroom.
Oh.
Then it's a lot of people in the bar. Who knew people watched the Broncos game? Then I go to our regular studio, see the familiar face. Eric's down there. I was like, oh, okay. Where the guys at? They say, well, I'm in the wrong studio.
Yeah, we got bumped from Studio A today.
Yeah, we're in Studio B here. So for a Broncos watch along, it's 6-3. Like, come on, guys. Like, really? Nobody's watching the Broncos, let alone watching along to the Broncos. Like, my God. Anyway, he's Dev, and then over here is the handsome one, Harrison Wynn.
Man, what a prime opportunity for the Nuggets to get just a nice road win against a good quality opponent in New Orleans.
It is a prime opportunity. It's prime time for an opportunity. But first, yes, Nuggets. Look, man, they've let me down lately. You know what? They had a little win streak going against the Houston Rockets, the OKC thing. I don't know how hyped you guys got for those games. I was a little hyped. But they let me down in these last couple ones. And
They've only lost one in a row.
They only have lost one in a row. But prior to that, I mean, their last 3 losses have all been losses that have been frustrating. And I got to say, man, I'm having trust issues. I'm coming in today with some trust issues about the Nuggets. Harrison, what can you tell me about the game notes here?
Well, Michael Porter Jr. and Jeff Green are out for Denver. There was, I think, some talk that Jeff Green could get back today, but he's still going to be out. And then for the Pelicans, Brandon Ingram's out, and Herb Jones is also out for New Orleans. So
that's good news. I mean, the wings are gone. They still have. They do still have wings though.
I don't know if
they
that's
do.
Good news.
I don't either,
I know,
especially
actually.
after the undermanned Atlanta Hawks.
Let me hear it. Why is that not good news?
Because it gives Zion Williamson more run to get the ball a lot more. At least if you have Ingram, it's like another guy that has to take shots. He's a guy that gets the ball in his hands, and he's going to try to score.
Yeah.
Sucks.
Well, the Pelicans have been playing well without Brandon Ingram. They've won 3 in a row without him in the 3 games he's missed. They're the hottest team in the West. They're 8-2 in their last 10. And like Dev was saying, Zion stepped it up. Here's why this game is concerning for the Nuggets. The Nuggets are the worst team in the NBA at defending the restricted area. They're one of the worst teams in the NBA at defending the paint. Zion Williamson's averaging 18 points per game just in the paint this season. That's going to be tough for the Nuggets to stop.
The one thing I'll say about that is I think when I'm watching the Nuggets, and this is just a theory, they're really bad at being spaced out and in pick and roll and then running out at the 3-point line. You don't have Ingram tonight. You do have Trey Murphy. You got some guys that can knock down shots. But I do wonder if they struggle with guys like Zion who are like catching the ball in the paint off of post entry, facing on the elbow, and that I don't think that's where they get beat in the paint. Now they might get beat because they do get spread out tonight, and we'll see if that happens. But part of me thinks this might be a different type of paint points than the ones that the Nuggets get killed on.
Well, New Orleans also gets out in transition a lot. And that's also where some of these paint points are coming, just like breakaway dunks from Zion Williamson. And We know the Nuggets, sometimes they like to get back on defense. Sometimes. But they'll have to today. They absolutely will.
What I hate about the defense for the Nuggets is they're a team that I'm not sure if it's like pride or whatever the case may be, but they just refuse to double team guys. They refuse to try to do those type of gimmick type of defenses, and they want to just play them straight up. The thing is, I don't think there's a player in the league that can just straight up guard Zion Williamson. It's not like a Denver only type of thing.
Right.
He just he's so potent of an offensive guy that if you try to just give him one-on-one defense, he's going to eat you up every single time. So I really do hope that Denver decides to try to throw different looks at him, maybe even implement a zone or just something else.
Right.
Trey Murphy's been balling too.
He's good. I remember he's my guy. He's like the guy from his first summer league where I was like, I love the way this guy moves. I love how he moves off ball, reads the court well. He's really got a great body on him. He's like really tall and long, and he has that beautiful
knockdown
stroke.
shooter.
And it took 1 year, like last year, whatever. But this year, I'm not at all surprised. He is an absolute, my kind of player.
These are his last 4 games. 21 points, 20 points, 26 points, 17 points.
That's a run, man. For a guy that's breaking out, a second-year breakout candidate, he's a good player. So I think he's going to be a name you see a lot of tonight. We got Serbia in the chat, by the way, because this is that 1:30 game here in Denver, which means it is 9:30 in Serbia right now. So you're probably going to get a lot of the Serbian crew getting to watch the team live. Here's the big question, though, Dev. I can't understand why the Nuggets come out flat against Atlanta, 13-2 to start. I can't figure out why. Is tonight a night that you think there's no way that happens? They are coming out focused because they got to bounce back, or do you think, hey, we'll see?
I think that there's no way that can happen. I think that they looked at Trae Young being out, them missing John Collins, and said, this is a team that does not really care. We're not going to play up to them. And then you get blitzed really early where a team is so talented. These are the best players in the entire world. Just being able to knock shots that you give them some momentum, it's going to be hard for you to try to bounce back. And they just never could throughout the entire game. So not only are they coming off of a embarrassing loss, but it was just no effort. So that has to be the point of emphasis. That has to be what they've been thinking about for the last couple of days. So they're going to make it a point to just try to come out here and not really handle business, but at least try hard. You'll see them with a lot of effort early on in the game, I expect.
Who's the guy, Harrison, that you're kind of set, this is the guy I have my eye on today for the Nuggets?
Nikola Jokic, especially after that first half against Atlanta. If the Nuggets are going to win today, Nikola Jokic has to come out and set the tone in the first quarter. That just has to happen. He did not against Atlanta. And, for as bad as the defense was, for, the run that they made in the second half, Denver did, they lost that game because they came out asleep. And Nikola Jokic came out asleep. So he's got to set the tone tonight.
And he's got a tough matchup in Big Val, who I think he's actually had a good job. He scored on Big Val a lot in the past, but Big Val's kind of scored on him a lot. And we all know that sort of it can cancel things out if you let him go off. So I'm very curious to see how Jokic approaches tonight. He's definitely one of maybe the number one guy I have my eye on early on. What about you, Dev?
I'm going to agree with Harrison. I think that it's going to be Jokic, but also another guy that you just not even really feel sad for, but I'm just man, that is a tough assignment that you're going to have is Aaron Gordon. I want to see if he's able to defend without fouling. I know that they're going to go to him early and often, so he's going to have to be aggressive. This is not really a matchup for him or why they brought him in, but it's on him to try to slow guys down and try to make it tough. You just talked about Val. Val, he's not going to stop Jokic, but he is going to make him work hard for it. Can Aaron Gordon do that? Can he make him work hard? Can he make it so that Zion has to think about it? I feel like the last time that the Nuggets played the Pelicans, Zion had a tough at least for the
it
first
wasn't
half.
good. Aaron Gordon did a good job on it.
Yeah, really good. So it's okay. I know Zion ended up getting his late, but you expect that. But at least make it hard for him where other guys have to be involved. Now you don't have a Brandon Ingram to kick it out to, and those other guys that can hit that can hurt you.
I think you guys hit the two guys that are most likely. I think those are the right answers, AG and Yoke. I'll give you a third one, though, and it's Jamal. And the reason is, Willie Green, I think, is a good coach. And I've mentioned there's a handful of coaches in the NBA that I think schematically guard Denver in a way that makes things tough on Yoke. They send length at him as the double, and then they scramble behind it. Well, Willie Green hasn't gone against Jamal Murray. He hasn't coached against him. So I want to see if Denver kind of gets rolling in that way with Jamal. Oh, I was going to say so bad.
Another aspect for the Pelicans, they've put Dyson Daniels in the starting lineup, who's this rookie, really good defender, though. I'm guessing he's going to match up on Jamal Murray. So that should be interesting. Jamal's never played against him before.
Yeah. All righty. Let's move on here, guys, and talk about the news in Colorado right now. Maybe some of the Serbians don't realize this. Maybe some of the people outside of Denver don't know this. The news of this is Deion Sanders is the new head coach, being introduced right now, the new head coach of the CU Buffs football program.
Man.
Unbelievable that this happened.
It's actually not believable. Yeah.
Like, all jokes aside, I don't think that people understand like how big of a hire that is and how exciting times are in Boulder. I think that it was already exciting looking at the basketball team, getting know different types of players than they've ever got before. A 5-star, 4-star, a 3-star. That's kind of normal. So you already have that, and then on the other side, you get prime time. Like, this is not just a guy. It's not like really like it's just like this is one of the best coaches or anything like that. Like, you get what he is and what he like a Hall of Fame type of person being the face of your school is major. Like, really, I don't think that anything matters on the field. I really don't. I think it's just like bringing the attention to CU, bringing who he is to a town that desperately needs it. Like, I think that's like the major piece of it.
Yeah,
it really is. Like, I mean, you get such a celebrity, and here's the thing: Deion Sanders is as cool of a person, of an ex-athlete. He's like Allen Iverson. He's in the same tier.
He's in the Michael Jordan, Allen Iverson tier of cool. He just is.
Cool of maybe you might say swag, just swagger. Like, this is the thing. See, I'm not a CU fan, so I'm going to say this from my perspective. I think CU has been, for majority of my lifetime, a swagless school. They used to have it back in the day. They used to have it. They lost it.
A very long time ago.
It was 90s. But yes, they had it. They lost it. And it was like, it's wild to watch it go like that. Just all of a sudden, he's coming here. You know what's cool? CU Boulder. They are cool. They are swag. They are cocky. They are arrogant. They are this or that. And I'm watching this Nuggets team, and I'm thinking, the Nuggets I think, can use a little bit of this. When you see something, sometimes you don't realize, hey, are you missing this or that? Because you're not thinking about it. But then when you see something, you're kind of like, oh, wow, look what an impact just that one trait has on everything else. And I'm sitting here thinking, I think the Nuggets can use a little swag. I think they're a little swag deficient, Dev.
Yeah, they truly need it. If you look at like a bounce around the league, Memphis right now is like the most swagged out team. Like, that's a place that I feel like was swagless for such a long time. Like, the face of their franchise was like Gasol and Zebo.
Yeah, I think they had swag though, because I think Zebo and Tony Allen, and then just grit and grind. They had an identity that was cool. I don't think they had
swag. I think that they were just a hard-nosed team.
They were hard-nosed. That's a type of swag though. You're right though.
There's
lesser
actual
type
swag that they have with a Ja Morant that just brings you. He brings the fans out. He brings excitement where you have to watch those type of games. It just makes you want to be part of what they have. And I think that bringing in a prime time, it brings that type of swag. I think that there's going to be a lot more fans that you're used to, a lot different fans than you're used to. There's going to be attention on CU that has just not been there. When you talked about CU, it was like how many different coaches they had and things like that. It wasn't the excitement and trying to get everybody to go to the games. And he just brings so much, like, really, like, it's like the camera is on him at all times. And if one thing he's going to do, he's going to talk about himself. And I think that's just so cool. Like, really, he's just so cool.
It's so cool.
So, yeah, like, the swag is back.
I love the Ja Morant Memphis Grizzlies comparison to this, because I think when people hear swag, it can have negative connotations. I think it's a word that can have a negative or positive connotation depending on how you view it, right? Like, you can go overboard one way or the other. But I think Ja is the great one, because Ja is a guy who just like walks into the building like he's the biggest dude. He just walks onto the court like he's the biggest dude. And I think that Denver, that's the part of swag that I'm saying I think they just kind of miss a little bit. And it's a funny comp, but I thought the Phoenix Suns had a little bit of this last year, where they just had a little bit of cockiness to them. Now, it didn't work out. It kind of blew up in their face in the end. But it did propel them to 4 wins or something. That's the thing I'm talking about. Denver, they just kind of seem almost frowny and a little like this or that. And then even just like, I want them to walk onto a court some nights where I feel like, oh, they have that look like they're about to like disrespect this team. They're about to not disrespect them, but they're going to beat them so bad that they're going to feel disrespected.
They did walk onto the court like that once this season. It was against the Spurs, the takeover game.
The takeover.
This Bones Highland second half.
Because he has it. He's like number one swag.
That was
rankings.
also the pass where that game where like Nikola Jokic tried that between the legs pass on the fast break.
Yeah.
He was trying crazy shit. I tweeted out that game like I've never seen the Nuggets play with so much swag.
Right.
There's a reason that was the funnest game of the year.
Right.
Like,
yeah.
Why not be addicted to that feeling?
Man,
Right.
That game had the most highlights in like a single Nuggets game that I can ever remember. That was the game I think I almost got kicked out of the press box for like going crazy over Bones Highland. Not really, but maybe. That game, they had so much swag. So like they can have it, but we haven't really seen it since then.
You talk about swag. Brendan Vogt just walked into the building. My God. My God. You guys have to wait for the post game to see him. My goodness. Is that Tom Hanks and Top Gun over there? You got it going on. Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise and Top Gun. Who brings it, though, Dev? How can Denver get swag? Do they have a guy on the roster, or is it like a trait they don't have?
When they have, like when Jamal's playing at his best, like I feel like he does have it. He's just not as big of a trash talker that you want. You just want it to be consistently just like everyone backs him up and gets to that point. Like we see these little spots where, you know, Jokic says like, have somebody else guard me. You know, like I have 50, brother. And like things like that. But like if you get that to a every game type of basis with Bones Highland, like having the trash talk off of the bench and just bringing that, that's how you could get that where everybody else is involved. Because I think that they have the people on it. It sucks to say, but I feel like DeAndre Jordan has that in him.
What?
Yeah, he's just trying.
What?
I feel like he is
swag.
That's the crazy
No,
take.
not swag, but I feel like he has it in him to be like a trash talker or just to want more. Jeff Green wants to dunk on you every single play. Like they have those. Christian Brown, we've known him as being a trash talker.
There's one guy you haven't mentioned who I think has some swag, but it can't be him. Bruce, I think Bruce has some.
Yep.
Bruce talks some trash, man.
Yep.
I think that they have the
to
pieces.
himself.
They have them. They have them. They
Gets
just
himself going.
I'm not gonna say Denver doesn't bring it to them, but like that's just not their identity to just go after it and want to beat you in those type of ways. And that is what they're missing that these other teams do have. Right. They want to humiliate you. They want to beat you. They're going to come after you every single time. Denver has it because they're talented, but they don't have it because they have that dog in them.
Right.
That's what you want.
It's like Enot, right? We've talked about the Serbian term that can have negative parts of it and positive parts of it, and it's, you know, it can swing too long. I think swag is a little bit of that as well, where like there are some real positives to it. And I think when we talk about how do the Nuggets have nights like they did against Atlanta, like that's part of it, man. Like if you have a John Morant, he walks onto the court with this mentality of, the people in this building don't realize I'm the top dog.
Yeah.
Like this mentality of it. And Denver just needs that mentality. They need that, like, people don't realize we're the top. Have a chip on your shoulder every single night. They had no chip on their shoulder last night. I hope they have one tonight. I hope they bring it. I hope somebody injects them with some swag. A la Deion Sanders. All right, real quickly here, though, before we get to the betting portion. The Pelicans and the Grizzlies, to me, are, for some reason, I put them in the same category. Not just in quality of how good they are, but they're also just kind of next. They're both like not young like OKC's young, but they're also not old like Denver's, you know, kind of in the prime. They're right below that. How do you guys? Who do you fear more in terms of Denver? I think there's a good chance one of these two teams matches up with Denver in a first or second round playoff series this year. Very, very good chance. Who do you think is the tougher team? Or will be the tougher team?
Just going off of like the swag meter that we just discussed, this Memphis Grizzlies.
So this day's all about swag.
They're not afraid. They're not afraid of whoever is in front of them. Like they feel like they could compete with the Warriors. Like there was trash talking going into that series, and they had the lead until like Morant got hurt. And things like they want to go at whoever's in front of you every single time. With the Pelicans, I feel like they're in the same. You're at the same point of Denver, just being like one of the more talented teams, but they're just missing that one thing that puts them over their edge. They're just missing a little bit of the pieces. But I think that they're both very difficult for Denver to like match up with. I think that they'll give them a run for their money. But when a team knows that they can beat you, that just propels you like that. It beats the talent level that they have, and I just think that that's what it is.
I'm more scared of the Pelicans in the regular season, but in a playoff series, I'd be more scared of the Grizzlies. I think just because they've been there. The Pelicans, this team hasn't really like been to the playoffs or really they haven't like done much. The Grizzlies are just more experienced, and just like Memphis is a really tough place to play. That team is, they just play the right way. They know how to like win games in the playoffs, but in the regular season, just for how good the Pelicans are in the paint, like that's what terrifies me about tonight and playing the Pelicans every time. They just kill the Nuggets in the paint. And Denver for years has just been a really bad interior defense.
I think Yoke in a playoff series is going to own the front court. And like they have Zion and they have Big Val. Tonight, they might win this matchup in the front court over Yoke even. I don't know. But in a playoff series, I'm like, no, Yoke's he's going to make Val unplayable. Zion's not going to be an answer for it. Like I think he's going to get there. John Morant, like Denver, you get a quick guard, man. Denver has never handled a quick guard. They literally have never handled him. Donovan Mitchell, 250 pieces, right?
Derek White.
Derek White. Yeah, we can even go down. Like we can start getting lower and lower.
Rodney Hood.
Rodney, well, he ain't even quick. He just gave it to business.
Bad as well.
But I'm saying the quick guard to me is the thing that I'm like, man, I don't know. So I think it's Memphis as well. But both teams are really good. And like my confidence in the Nuggets, I've been talking to a lot of people, and some people have been like, Adam, are you down on the Nuggets? It's not that I'm down. I'm a little down on them, but it's more like I just want to see the thing that's going to give me confidence, which is one, some defense, and two, just again, there's a way a team carries themselves when they're a real contender, and I haven't seen it from Denver yet. I just haven't. It's early in the season, but I want to see it. It starts with games like tonight where they can bounce back. All right, Dev, open up the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use promo code DNVR, and let's get some money on this game. Let's get a little action.
The action.
I want to see what we're working with today.
So, Nuggets come into this one as a 2-point underdog, which it was one earlier in the game. So, I'm guessing that the late money came over to the Pelicans. That's what people are betting. After an embarrassing loss to the Hawks without their best players, I just expect them to want this one a little bit more. So, also during the day, it's like early out of the way. I think that they want to get back to Denver after this one, or at least just back out of there. So I think that they are going to come in here and handle business.
Really?
So I do have Denver in this game.
Plus 1.5 or money line?
Plus 2. No, I think it's money line. You might as well go money line if you're going to do plus 2. It's not going to come down to a buzzer beater or anything like that.
All right.
I think this game is going to be exciting. I think that with Zion, you just expect fireworks every single time. They're going to try to get in there, and the pace is going to be up. Like Harrison already said, they want to get out and run. I think they're going to try to get out and run and score. The interior defense is going to be the point of emphasis. I don't think it's going to be there. I'm going to go over in this one. Both teams scoring easily in this one. Tough assignment for AG. You'd be crazy if you think that I was not gonna go Zion Williamson. Like that's just nuts.
You think he's gonna kill him, huh?
Absolutely.
Oh wow.
He's just been playing like so well. I think he's been passing the ball now. He's been grabbing rebounds. Like he just looks a lot different right now. His points, rebounds, and assists is only 38.5.
Is that what you're taking?
I would make it the lock if this wasn't the Nuggets show. It's real damn easy. Like, that's what all my money is going to go on.
It tells you how down bad I am that I never make these bets, and I'm making it tonight.
You have to. You have to. I do
I have trust issues right now with the Nuggets. I have trust issues.
Yeah, man. Sounds like my last relationship.
Yeah,
Listen.
I was going to say, let's go into relationship corner.
I like Big Val points and rebounds in this one.
I can't do that. I'm not going there. Even if you like it, I can do Zion. I'm not going double up.
It's okay. Here. It's only 21.5. I think that's just too low.
All right.
Zion scores. Not Zion. Big Val scores in these matchups. 21.5. I like it. Let's get to the Denver side of things.
Thank you.
Where things get fun.
Right.
I think Denver is going to get theirs. I think that they have a lot of guys that can. I like KCP's 3-pointers. They had 1.5. He didn't get it last game because they called a foul on a Bruce Brown pass.
Passing crash.
The passing crash. I think he's going to get it. I think he's easily going to get it. I think he's going to get like 3 threes. So let's just get the over 1.5.
Okay.
I like AG's rebounds over 5. I'll put that in the same game parlay. I just feel like he has to help today with there being two big men in their lineups. And also, he's going to have to defend at the rim on Zion. It's not like he's going to be on the perimeter at any point throughout the game. So I like his rebounds.
Okay.
I think that Jokic is going to hit a three-pointer in this game. I think he's going to want to have to get Big Val out of the post and just protecting the paint. He's going to have to step out there. If he doesn't, he's going to make him pay. He's also been shooting the three ball, so I'm going to go with the over there.
It's minus 200. Is there any chance you try to boost that up or anything?
Yeah, to the 2. You think you could do
maybe a single game parlay or something?
Let's just do it in the SGP. Let's just add it to the SGP.
Right.
I like that Jokic is forced to be around the rim, and that's an easy bet for the Jokic rebounds. They have it at 11 right now. I think he has to get it just because, again, he's going to be the rim protector. I don't think that the Pelicans care about trying to get him out of the paint. They're just going to try to go right at him or over him. So I just think that he's going to be around the rims. There's going to be a lot of those tip-out rebounds where they get out in fast breaks. So give me the over points. Rebounds on that. My lock of the game is Zion. No, Jokic points. I think this is going to be. Right. I think this game is going to call for him to be aggressive early on, and he is going to want to try to set the tone just to make that Pelicans defense have to get off of him. I think that they don't double team him. They're going to try to guard him straight up. He's going to punish Big Val early, and then he's just going to close him out later in the game. So I think he was passive in that last game, especially in the first half, and then he kind of turned it on. I think we see it the full time. So let's lock that in. His points as my lock of the game.
We built a quick single game parlay. They got that odds boost for you. I went different from Dev on all of this, so I don't know how I feel about it. Again, Jamal Murray's a new look. I think this is a Jamal Murray game. I think 19.5 points. I'm going to start up by getting 19. I think he gets a 20-point game tonight. In large part, you talk about they play two bigs. Going to be a lot of pick and roll. And then on top of that, what does Jamal eat up? Little guards. Jose Alvarado, CJ McCollum. Sorry, he's too big. Jamal Murray is very good when he gets the size advantage. I think we're going to get some fancy footwork from him tonight. I like the Jokic 3, though. I'm going to go over here to Jokic. I'm going to go over here to threes. I agree. I'm just going to take 1. I was thinking about maybe going 2. It seems a little too ballsy.
Get Bones in there for a 3.
Yeah, and then, Bones Highland, man. So here's my fear about Bones Highland is he came back, and I thought he looked good offensively, like he was getting to his spots. But when you come back from injury, it's that second game. Because then you're a little, his legs haven't been tested like that. I'll bet you he has heavy legs tonight a little bit. So I think I'm going to stay away from there. But I do need one more thing. And here's what I'll tell you. I think Aaron Gordon is going to get a little bit more than what you think. I'll take an Aaron Gordon 3, actually. It's minus 270. I'll take 1 from him just because I like counting the threes. I think he'll have a better game than you anticipate because I think he's a good matchup there. So I got one AG 3, 1 Jokic 3. I got the front court 3 guys. And then I got Jamal Murray on points. I'm going to give myself a little profit boost, sprinkle a little bit of money on that one, and root for the best. All right, that does it for us, guys. We're going to head down and watch this down at the bar. And then afterwards, a very swaggy Brennan Vogt will join us to do the post-game show, hopefully.
Let's
go. Winners Lounge. Hit that like button on the way out. We'll see you after the game.